is more, thank you, is more like a myth breaker. Okay. Now, how many of us, give me a raise of hand, feel that stories are false or stories are fiction? Give me a raise of hand. Does anybody think they are fiction? They're false? They're masala? Ajna ma'am, you're on mute. You can unmute and say.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Not always.
Not always. That's the point. So that's the myth I want to break. Because have you guys realized that the most inspiring, the most empowering stories are stories that are based out of real life incidents? Story of Mahatma Gandhi, story of Michelle Obama in her book Becoming, right? Which other stories have you read which are actually inspiring? Any that you want to suggest? Okay, so story of Milkha Singh in the movie Bhag Milkha Bhag. Story of Sardar Patel in the movie Sardar. Malala, MS Dhoni. All these are real stories and they are so inspiring. They're full of grit and a decisiveness. So stories are not fiction. All right, that's the myth that I wanted to break today. With that, I step into my role or my shoes of Sergeant at Arms and state the three main rules that you need to follow today during the meeting. The first rule is that please put yourself on mute when you're not speaking. Rule number 2, don't interrupt when somebody else is speaking. You'll be given a chance to either raise your hand when you want to speak or use the emoticon. And rule number 3, let's please avoid language pertaining to gender, politics, or religion that may disturb others. With that, I would like to recite the Toastmasters mission statement. At Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, which results in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, let's all aim to have a great meeting today. And with that, and a loud round of applause, welcome our officiating president on the virtual podium. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms, for such a warm welcome. Greetings to one and all present here. Welcome to the 77th session of the Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. Before starting with this session, first I have a small announcement to make. This is for all the paid members of the District 41 that our district is organizing a Resonance 2022 from 10th June to 12th June. So I request all the paid members of our club to register for the event as earliest as possible. And the other details I have shared I will be sharing it in the official group. So you can just register from the link there itself. Thank you so much. So welcome to the 77th session of the meeting of Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. But before starting with the meeting, I want to ask a question from all of you. How many of us wants to gain name and fame? Well, a raise of hand would be a good thing. Well, certainly all of us wants. Who does not want a name and fame? But the definition of name and fame has certainly changed over the years. Earlier, people used to get famous for creating something new, something innovative, something different from other population. But nowadays, people are getting famous for doing weird songs, weird dance, and doing the weird stuff. Haven't you seen, or have you seen the song Bachpan Ka Pyar or Kacha Badam? Well, why have they got so famous? I still don't understand. But that's what being famous from just doing the weird things. So let's be weird today with Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Renu Mittal. Before inviting her on stage, first let's have a small introduction with our guest. First, I could see guest Anand. Would you like to give a small intro of yourself? How do you got to know about the club?
Hi guys, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
I am Anand and I've just joined today. I'm a professional as an government servant. I've been serving for about say 20 years. And I was just on Meetup and I was just browsing and landed upon Toastmasters, and it is just my initial foray. I'm just trying to understand what this group is all about, and that's about it from my side. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. I can see that you can learn more about the Toastmasters and the meeting in the meeting today itself, where you can see that how the flow of the meeting goes by. Thank you so much for joining in. Do stay till the end. Now, next we have Toastmaster Devan. Can you give a small intro of yourself?
Thank you, Mehak, Toastmaster Mehak. So, hi team, myself Devin. I'm part of organization named CBR in Gurgaon. So we have started with the Toastmaster Club, I think, since last 2 months. So this is my first meeting where I have joined as an external guest, and today I'll be taking over the timer role for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devan. It's just a pleasure to have you for our meeting. Next, we have Toastmaster Mohammed. Would you like to give a small intro of yourself? I think he's facing some network issues. Toastmaster Vimika, would you like to give a small intro of yourself?
Hello to everyone. I'm Vimika and I'm already a member of Toastmasters New Delhi Club. Actually, today I was supposed to do a role of evaluator, but I think the speaker has is not available. So today I won't be doing that, and I'll be attending the meeting as a guest only. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vamika, for joining the meeting. And thank you. It's a pleasure to have you for the meeting, for the meeting here. Toastmaster Anjana, would you like to give a small intro of yourself?
Yeah, I am from Gurgaon Speakers Toastmasters. I'm holding the position of president over there. And today we have planned that let's have a meeting together to entertain all the members together. So that is why I joined TCST today. And maybe for new members from our club will join shortly. Thank you. Love to enjoy this evening with you all with TCST. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anjana, for joining in. Next, we have, I could see Toastmaster Rahul and guest, GST guest. Would you like to give a short intro of yourself? Rahul.
Hello. Yeah, so actually I'm joining as a guest. This is my first time in this club, and I found this club on Meetup. So I wanted to try getting into Toastmasters and getting a feel of this club. And I'm joining in from Delhi. And hoping to interact with all of you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul, for joining in. Yes, we surely could have put up a nice session in front of you, and it's our pleasure to have you for the meeting here. Guest, GST guest, would you like to give a short intro of yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Navina. I joined a couple of days back, but had to drop off. But yeah, up till now, I'm finding the structure of the meeting a little complex, but yeah, I hope to learn more about it.
Yes, thank you so much for joining in. And we hope to make this meeting more successful by providing a good session in front of all of you. And now, without wasting any time, let's invite Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Renu Mittal, on stage.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak, presiding officer Toastmaster Mehak, for such a warm start. A very good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and our dear guests. Friends, today I'm starting this session with a question. Tell me, how many of you are bitten by writing bug? Means you aspire to become such a great writer whose stories, books, and novels sell no less than bestseller. Any one of you? Who wants to become a writer? Wow, wonderful. I can see raise of two hands only, Deeptendu and Mehak. And please, from the Gurgaon Toastmasters Club, Deepthi also, right? Deepthi has two hands. Okay, wonderful. And Madam Anjana also. Toastmaster Anjana also. Okay. So almost many of us actually, not all of us, but many of us. But friends, you know what happens actually? Despite our all devotion and concentration, only few reach to that heights. And all others, don't they just stay and wing only? Am I right? We all we all aspire to become writer, but only a few can reach to that heights. And you know the reason? When we start the process of writing, after a few days or in no time only, we realize that there is a sea of difference between dreaming and actualizing. Something like watching a movie which seems to be so interesting, with popcorn, of course, and then to actually acting in it. That is a troublesome job, tedious job. Similarly, writing comparatively is a simple task reading comparatively is a simple task than to writing. And being a teacher, I know how difficult it is to make my students write an article, diary, story, or a speech of around 200 words. You know, most of the time they succeed in convincing me that they will do all the writing skills and homework only. Because for that, they need enough concentration. And in the commotion of the class, they cannot focus proper. Of course, they are no doubt very, very smart guys. See, if my mood is good, I agree. Else I make them write there in the class only. And you know the result would be? It will be as pathetic as I can dream of. And then that will be full of thousands of excuses also. Now we see seriously, doesn't the same only happen with all of us also? We also find so many excuses. No, this is not our cup of tea. So let's settle down for something less. But despite all inhibitions, can we let our writer within die? Of course not. So friends, today I will tell you some easy ways how to become an established writer by following very simple techniques. I know after listening to those ideas, they might seem some weird to some people, but trust me, they are actually very worthy enough. And they have already worked for the icons. But we'll discuss it later. And before that, I'll tell you the format of the meeting for the convenience of the guests. So, my dear guests, our meeting is in 3 sessions. The first part is prepared speech session. Second will be the table topic session. And the third will be the evaluation session, and which is conducted by our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Deeptendu Ahuja. So before proceeding further, I just call on the stage Toastmaster Deeptendu Ahuja, who is the general evaluator today, to please explain his view so that our guests will be confident. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Renu. General evaluation. The evaluation section is one of the most important sections of a typical Toastmasters meeting. In fact, I would go on to say that all of us derive the most amount of learning through the evaluation section of any Toastmasters meeting, from prepared speech evaluators to the supplementary role players and to the general evaluator. There is evaluation conducted for each and every section and each and every role player that is present in the meeting. So as the general evaluator, I will observe the meeting from start to the end, and I will try to figure out patterns which were good, or tendencies which should not have exhibited themselves during the meeting. And overall, I will be supported by the three supplementary role players. So we have got a timer and a grammarian today. So first of all, I would like to invite the timer for today's meeting, which is Toastmaster Deven Sharma. So Toastmaster Deven, can I request you to please introduce the role of a timer?
Thank you, Toastmaster Dipendu. So hi team, as I mentioned, I'll be the timer of today. So let me quickly share the screen. Okay, I'm not able to share the screen, guys. Would someone allow me to share the screen?
Yes, sure. I'll just give you sharing rights in a minute. There you go. Please check.
Okay, yeah, I'm able to see now. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So hi guys. So as I mentioned, so for the timer role, I'll be evaluating the timer once the speaker one starts with the icebreaker speech. So the time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes for the ice-breaking speech. So speaker one and speaker two would be allowed to speak for 4 to 6 minutes, and there would be a grace period of 30 seconds for each of them. So once they start speaking, once they fall under the 4 to 6 minutes, so I'll be changing my card to green card, which will indicate them that okay, now they are in the time zone under which they can close the skip. And in the grace period, I'll be turning my card into the yellow. So you will be seeing the yellow on my screen. So, and if you cross the limit of 6 minutes 30 seconds, then I'll change my card to red card. So similarly, for the evaluators, evaluator and 1, 2 would be allowed to evaluate the speech within 2 to 3 minute time span. And for the table topics, the duration is allowed from 1 minute to 2 minute 30 seconds for each of the table topics. And the table topic again, evaluator, they are allowed to speak for 4 to 6 minutes. Then if we have the grammarian, so grammarian is allowed for 2 to 3 minutes timer, in which they need to present the grammarian report for each of the speakers, and a counter would be required to 1 to 2 minutes, and then general evaluator, they would be allowed to speak for 3 to 5 minutes. So this is what the time card is. So over to you, Toastmaster Dipendu.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devin. Adhering to time instills a sense of discipline in all of us. Even in real life, we cannot speak endlessly. We have to we have to deliver our story, our presentation, our point of view in a coherent and consistent manner in limited amount of time. And the timer's role, the timer of today's meeting, will help us practice just that as a prepared speaker or as a speech evaluator or as a supplementary role player. So thank you, Toastmaster Devin, once again. We'll move on to the next supplementary role, which is that of a grammarian. So today, Toastmaster Deepthi is playing the role of grammarian. Can I request Toastmaster Deepthi to explain the grammarian's role?
Thank you, Toastmaster Dipendu, for this wonderful opportunity. Well, today I'm playing the role of a grammarian, and as a grammarian, I will notice or note down all the good usages of grammar and not so good usages of grammar throughout the meeting today. And I will be noting these usages not only from the role players or the speakers, but also from anybody who speaks in the meeting. The idea is to enhance or to know what are the follies that we make or the follies that we make and improve upon them if we are not using good grammar. And likewise, if you're using good grammar, then let's ape the good usages and bring it into daily life. Also, another part of my role is to share the word of the day. So here I go. I'm using a PowerPoint to present the word of the day. I'm sure all of you can see my screen now. So the word of the day is eminent, which is in flow with the theme of the day of being famous. It means present to a notable degree. And this word has a very positive quality to it. An example sentence could be, Madame Tussauds Museum has wax statues of eminent personalities or famous personalities. That is what the word means. As a grammarian, I would encourage everybody to use the word of the day as much as they can when they speak. so that we can start using this word flawlessly in our daily life. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Dipten.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepti. Now it's okay. It's okay if we put a little bit of chili in tea. But what if we do not put any sugar at all? The tea wouldn't be tasting as it should. So grammar is precisely that. We have to understand what to speak and how to speak, how to construct our sentences in a way that is presentable. We don't have to reach the level of René and Martin, but we have to speak presentable in English language, adhering to basic rules of grammar, and that is what the comedian of today's meeting will help us improve upon. So thank you, Toastmaster Deepti. The third auxiliary role is that of that of the R counter. Now, if there is any member in today's meeting who is not playing any role, I would welcome them to take up the role of R counter. I will count down from 3, 2, 1. As the counter of today's meeting, I, Deeptendu Ahuja, will observe the fluency in the speech of each and every speaker. The counter's role is primarily about noting the pauses which take away from the fluency of the speech. Pauses could be short or long. I will also observe the usage of crutch words or crutch phrases like, like. So these are crutch words which people tend to use time and again in order to, which at times breaks the flow of the speech. So I will observe crutch words and crutch phrases, incorrectly used pauses, and of course the ahs and ums which take away from the speech. So as the counter, I will observe all these aspects, and me along with the team of supplementary role players will endeavor to listen to each one of you carefully, so that when we present our report, you are able to take something back home that and work upon it and improve. With that, I'll hand the stage back over to Toastmaster. Toastmaster Rin.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Jitindu Ahuja. That was such a wonderful introduction of all the auxiliary role players. So now coming back to the main idea. What was the main topic? How to become an excellent writer. You know, every writer has to battle constantly how to fill blank pages, and it's not only for the newbies like me or my students, but it happens with almost all of the literary icons we adore. Can you believe that most of the wordsmiths are so superstitious that before scribbling their words down on the paper, they perform their own bizarre writing rituals to get thought-provoking ideas? So today we will see the routines of some of these eccentrics which has got them enormous name and fame. I am sure they can be helpful to us also. So the first one is, which you might feel very funny also, is lying down in bed. You know, some authors find inspiration and they write words just lying down in their comfortable beds, doing nothing. And who does all this? The successful novelist who practiced this habit was Mark Twain, George Orwell, Woody Allen, and Marcel Proust. They are known for churning out their pages while lying down in bed or lounged on a sofa, doing simply nothing and lost in their dreamland of thoughts. And what kind of thoughts? They only would be knowing only. So now coming to the second point is standing up. In contrast to point number 1, which was lying comfortably in the bed only, writing vertically is also no less famous for novelists like Charles Dickens, Virginia Woolf, which is one of my favorite ones, Lewis Carroll, and Philip Roth. Just imagine. I think so it will be very difficult even to imagine these great thinkers standing for long hours, unperturbed, until they had noted the entire idea on their pads. See, if you people are very health conscious, I think this technique might work for you. So why not give a try at least once? I'll tell you more of the ideas, but after the prepared speeches session. So first of all, I would like to invite our speaker number 1, Toastmaster Manish from Gurgaon Toastmaster Club. So, but before that, I would like to invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Vimika, to kindly read out all the objectives of the Toastmaster Manish speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Vimika. Toastmaster Vimika. Okay. I think Toastmaster Manish has backed out. Am I right?
Yeah, seems like Toastmaster Vimika mentioned it at the beginning of the meeting.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How could I miss that? Okay, I'm so sorry. So
No, that's
yeah. So let's invite our second speaker of the day, Toastmaster Anjana, and her evaluator is Toastmaster Parvesh. So over to you, Toastmaster Parvesh. Please tell us the objectives of Toastmaster Anjana's speech. Over to you.
I'm not sure if Pravesh is in our meeting.
Yes, I think he was there before. I have to give a message. Let's see. Comes up.
Toastmaster Pravesh is the speaker. Am I right?
No, evaluator.
Okay, he's the evaluator. Okay, okay. But do we have the speaker in the meeting?
Yes.
Okay, we have got Toastmaster Anjana. Okay.
Can we do the table topics? In the meanwhile, we can or as you say. Anything else wants to
Do we want to have the table topics before the speeches? If the speaker is comfortable with that, so we can.
Toastmaster Anjana, is the evaluator from your club only?
No.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's not coming at all, okay? Right?
So sorry, Renu, what are you saying?
I'm saying, is he attending the meeting? He attend the meeting or not? Is he coming or not?
Mehak mentioned that he was in the meeting earlier.
Now he's not replying. I don't know. Maybe I think he's left facing some network issues. The message is not delivering to him as well.
If the speaker is up for it, the speaker can go for. Since we have got only one speaker, right? Right, Renu. Since we have got only one speaker, we can go for a 360-degree evaluation of Toastmaster Anjana's speech. So basically, what she can do is Toastmaster Anjana will complete speaking, and then she will pick out people from the audience and then just ask them to give feedback to her. So she can pick up anyone, and as many, right, 4 or 5 people, and people will just speak out their feedback, and that will be the end of it. Toastmaster Anjana, are you comfortable with this?
Yes.
So in that case, can we have the speech first up front?
Yes, but we need to know her speech, the project and the speech levels and the objectives. That's the only thing. So if Anjana ma'am, you can share it yourself.
Okay.
Do you have your speech objectives?
Yeah, just a minute. My speech objective is to find body language. How was my body languages? And the title of the speech is Lessons to Kill Failure.
Toastmaster Anjana, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you please state the pathway, the level, etc.?
Yeah, that is I'm coming into actually.
Okay, okay.
And I have already completed one path, that is dynamic leadership. And now I am doing the second path. I have chosen second path, which is presentation mastery. And for presentation mastery also, I have completed level 1. Now I am delivering speeches for level 2 project 1. Project 2. So the objective of my speech is to find how my body language is. And that is what I wanted to know from all of you or those who wants to evaluate it. And the title is, that is, I have already told you, License to Kill Failure. So tell me, when can I start?
Yeah. So Toastmaster Anjana, I'm inviting you as a speaker on the stage, and the title of her speech is License to Kill Failure. License to Kill Failure, Toastmaster Anjana. Wishing you all the best. The stage is all yours. Over to you.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guest, do you all have license to kill failure? I have. Do you want to know how to get that license to kill failure? I can let you know. Travel with me for 5 to 7 minutes. Hopefully, you will get to know how to get that license to kill failure. My father wanted me to choose teaching as a career, but I wanted to do some official job, and I was very much interested in doing IT kind of job like programming and all. But I thought, let's fulfill the dream of my father. So I started doing preparation for B.Ed exam, entrance examination test. I studied a lot. I did hard work for that. And the day came. I was sitting in the bus because I was traveling to reach to my examination hall. I was mugging up. I was revising all the stuff which I have studied. And suddenly I realized that bus is not moving. I was shocked and just popped out from the window of the bus and saw there was a huge jam on the road. And when I saw my watch, it was 8:45 and exam has to be started at 9 a.m. in the morning. And I was not worried at that time because examination hall was at 15 minutes away from the place where I was at that time. But bus was not moving at all. I was very worried that how I will reach to the examination hall. Then I thought, okay, I'll take auto. But the same thing, auto was not even moving at all. I felt surge of anxiety. I was really very depressed. And I was really very worried how I will reach. Anyhow, I reached the examination hall. The moment I entered into the examination hall, it was 9:35, more than half an hour. I was not allowed to enter into the room. I was not allowed. Why? I was not allowed. Being a dedicated and very good student, known for a better student, known for doing everything on time, and I was not allowed. I requested a lot, but examiner did not listen to me. My legs started shaking and sweat was running from my head to the top. I was really totally blank. I was not even able to understand what to do. I was not allowed to enter into the room. There was a bench outside the room. I sat over there. I was not able to think what to do next. Anyhow, somehow, I reached home. And without allowing my parents to ask, how was the exam? I cried a lot. My parents thought that something bad happened to me. But when I said and told them that I was not allowed to enter into the room. I was not able to give exam. Then my father said, so what? Don't worry. I said, so what? Don't worry. It was your dream. And you are saying, don't worry. Then he said, okay, come with me. Sit with me. I'll tell you. I'll teach you something today. A very good thing which you can apply in your life. He said, see, when we want to achieve anything, when we make any plan, then if we get it very easily, then we don't learn anything in life. And if we don't learn anything, what experience will get? What you will share with others? What you have learned? So remember one thing in your life. If you make any plan, immediately after that, make alternative plans for it. You need to know if you get this thing, then you know what to do. But if you don't get, then what you do, that is very important. And that day, my dear friend, I got the license to kill failure. And that day I learned to have alternative plans always, which I am doing every day. And I have given such kind of experience to my kid as well. And he was able to find out his career because he was not able to find out what career he has to choose. So he gave me 4 options when I taught him. So I was pretty much clear, okay, he is not going to be depressed in his life because he knows if he'll not get whatever he wants to achieve, then he knows what he has to do else. This is the same thing we do in programming. If some engineers are sitting in this room, then they are aware of the very simple programming, but we create logic with that. What is that? If, else, if, else, if, else, if, else. So if we get this, what we have to do? Else if some other condition, what we have to do? Else if some other condition, what we have to do? Or else in the last, what we have to do? So if we do programming to execute it the similar way, and we are very sure about that programming, that piece of program that it will learn, it will give us the good result in any of those situations. So the same way we have to do program ourselves. If we get this, then what we have to do? If not, then what we have to do? So my dear friends, today I'm pretty much sure that you learn how to get that license to kill failure. If not, then you will learn and you will try. And I say you must try it, because with that, you will never be depressed in your life. And you will share your experience with everyone else the same way I am experiencing with today. Because if that day I have got the entrance into the examination hall, then I was not sitting over here to discuss my experience with you all, with the failure. So my dear friends, get license immediately to kill failure. Over to you, team mode of the day. Thank you.
Wow, Toastmaster Anjana, it was a fabulous speech. Actually, we are right. In fact, we can say so, like if we are not having one evaluator, because he could have not been able to pin up all the points. So it is better we are having so many evaluators today so that everybody would be having to compliment and comment on your speech. It was such a wonderful speech.
Thank
I
you so
really
much.
loved every bit of it. So thank you so much, ma'am. That was really very, very appreciable.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. Now,
So anyone can give the feedback, of all person sitting over here present can give the feedback. I would love to.
Uh, have people noted down feedback for Toastmaster Anjana?
yes,
If yes, then let us defer the evaluation for the evaluation section.
yeah, we will do that.
But please be honest. If the speech is still fresh in everyone's mind, if you haven't noted it down, we can have it right now. Otherwise, we will defer it for the evaluation section. So please speak up.
We can have 1 minute to note down the feedback.
Yeah, okay. We do that anywhere. We are supposed to do that
Yes,
anyways. All right,
that's
all
right.
right then. So I request everyone to please jot down their thoughts about Toastmaster Anjana's speech so that we can share it with her in the evaluation section.
And the timer can indicate a red once
Yeah.
1 minute is up. And Toastmaster Dipendu, so do we want to do like a one recommendation, one commendation kind of a thing, or do we want to do a CRC?
Any which ways, any which ways. It's okay. We don't need to follow any particular format. Just we just have to share our opinion about the speech, something that can help the speaker.
Yes.
So 1 minute is over, guys.
So who would like to come first?
Toastmaster Renu, we'll have the evaluation during the evaluation section.
All right.
Yeah.
So now again coming to our main thing, how to become a good writer. The third point is writing with index cards. You know, the great writer, author of Lolita, Pale Fire, and Ada, Vladimir Nabokov, he composed all his works on index cards, which he kept underneath his pillow. Whenever an idea popped in, he would quickly use those index cards and write it down. Will you believe if I say that this is somewhat resembling to my habit as well? While writing my book, Kashmir and Me, I would always keep a red diary with me so that not to miss any small idea even. In fact, I wrote most of the book while traveling to South India, either to Bangalore, Ooty, Mysore, Chennai, anywhere, because my son had shifted there recently. I would sit for long hours in the corners at airport or in the hotel rooms and would write for more than 10 to 12 hours at a stretch. And seriously, when my son would come, and if he would say, okay, mama, let's go after the office hours, then I would really exclaim, oh, you come? He would say, mama, it's been 10 hours. You have been writing continuously. And I would feel like I had just started reading. While sleeping also, I would keep that red diary near my pillow so that not to skip a phrase, idiom, or even two-liner poetry whose rhyming scheme could erupt any moment. I had written all my poetry, either two-liner or the big ones, in the early hours of the morning always, when abruptly some good vocabulary would struck. A few of them, which I had written in the book, are only two-liners. Drudgery drains all your veins, but pays handsome gains. The second is, whither is fled that visionary gleam, whither is that glory and dream. The third is, that was the deciding day, no stepping out for the sake of pay. They are actually in sync with the story. When we hear, we fear. When we are forced to, we bear. And the last, the spring of hope sprang up again. all hoped to board the next plane. And the one which I really love and which is very close to my heart is I had to sweat blood to earn my bread. And there are many more also, but for that you have to read my book. So whenever you are free and when you are ready, just let me know. And now this is the time for table topic session. And the table topic session today has been conducted by, yes, this is a question for all of you who is conducting our table topic session. Let me see how vigilant you people are. Who is the table topic master today? Anybody? Yes, please come on. Nobody. So, okay. So, table topic master.
No, I'm just acting like the table topics master, smiling and not speaking.
Yes, Mehak, you will know. This is a test. Yeah, I'm a teacher. I can put up a test anywhere, anytime, to anybody. Mehak, Deepti.
Mehak. She's our TTM today.
Why don't you respond?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Renu, welcoming me back on the stage. Greetings to each and everyone once again. Now I am the table topic master for the day as well, fellow Toastmasters and members. It is one of the most exciting portion for the table topic meetings, which is to think on the feet and by answering the questions that I will be asking. So this rule of the table topic session is that each speaker is required to speak for about 1 to 2 minutes. 2 minutes 30 seconds will be given on the upper side, and you will have to speak impromptu, that is on your feet. The benefits of this session is that it will help you in answering a question impromptu, and whereas it will also help you in your GDs, interviews, and in fact when you are talking to any person as well. It will help you to gain your elevated pitch as well. So with this, let's start with the table topic session. Now I would request first the members of the members of the club to first go ahead with the first table topic, and then the guests can follow. So any volunteers for the session? Okay, I can see Toastmaster Deepti has raised her hands. So Toastmaster Deepti, the question for you is, when you the moment of fame when you see your name in maths problem. The moment of fame when you see your name in a maths problem.
Okay, I'll use my 30 seconds to think. Okay, I'm ready. Thank you, table topic master Mehak, for the topic today, the moment of fame when you see your name in a maths problem. Well, definitely this has to take me back to my school days. And not just any school days. I think starting from class 3, we've been solving word problems. And my name is Deepti. So Deepti is not a very common name to appear in a maths problem, right? Nevertheless, I did manage to see my name crop up in a couple of these word problems. So imagine my excitement on seeing a question which said something like, Deepti has to go to New York City. And there she sits standing at the airport, looking at the, the counter where where she wanted to buy a can of Coke, which costed $1, a packet of chips, which costed her $2. What is the total amount of money that she would like to spend there? So that time when I hear or see my name in the maths problem elevates me. It makes me feel like an eminent personality. But in the same coin, I remember reading a math problem where Deepti had 4 children and she had to divide her property into 4 equal parts. And then she had to make sure that one of the parts is given to the child after he turns an adult? What grievances? So, yes, I've enjoyed my fair share of name in a maths problem from both sides of the coin. And I would love to see it again and again in reality. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Mehek.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rithi. What a wonderful speech it was. Now, any other person who would like to volunteer? Toastmaster Devan, would you like to go? Toastmaster Ranjana, would you like to go then? Next.
Just a minute.
Toastmaster Devin can speak. I will time him. I will just write down the timing on chat window.
Toastmaster Devan, would you like to go?
Yes,
Okay.
Mehak.
Okay, so the question for you is, like, stardom isn't professional, it is an accident. Stardom isn't profession, it is an accident. The stage is yours.
Sorry, I could not hear that. Can you please type in the chat window once?
Yes, sure.
Okay, I'll take 30 seconds to think about it. Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Mehak, for giving me this topic. Stardom is not a profession, it's an accident. So I truly believe that whenever someone try to pursue their career in somewhere like in the acting or in the profession which involves some, the art medium like acting, and somewhere I would say that the startups guys never think about that they need to achieve the stardom. What they think is they first need to earn their bread, right? So that they can fulfill their life, their life first, and the stardom will follow if they excel in their profession. So stardom has nothing to do with the profession. That's one thing. If someone is into the profession, if they work hard, if they follow their instinct and work accordingly, then obviously they will get the stardom. So that's what I see. So having seen the Shark Tanks, I don't think that any one of them who was the judge in the Shark Tanks series, they thought about the stardom. They only thought about that they first need to be successful. If they become successful, then the stardom will chase them. So that's it for me, Toastmaster Mehak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devan. I really appreciate that you said that the stardom is nothing about on the profession. Yes, it's really true. Next, who would like to volunteer? Any guest who would like to take any capable topic? Toastmaster, I could see guest Rahul, Mohammed, and GST guest. Would you like to go with any of the topics?
Yeah, I can take up a topic.
Okay. So the topic for you is being famous on Instagram is basically the same as being rich in the game Monopoly. Being famous on Instagram is basically the same being rich in the game Monopoly.
So, do I have to speak for or can I speak against also?
Yeah, you can speak anything.
Give me 30 seconds. Okay, yeah. So thanks, Mehak, for the table topic. And actually, I would like to speak against this that people may consider that Instagram can't be a worthy business. But like I have also started a business on Instagram recently, and I feel like in this new age, many businesses will come from the internet only, and we have a lot of audience on the internet. And to cater to these audience, we have these mediums, which is social media. So on social media, we can reach our potential customers, and I think Instagram can be a game changer for that, because a lot of young generation today is on Instagram, and people like some of the older generation may not understand how big this opportunity can be. But interacting with few of the people who have made it from Instagram and have created really huge businesses out of it, I can vouch that that it's just not something that you create on the internet. uh, so as you might be knowing that we have some very famous personalities that are huge on Instagram and get paid a lot for promoting products on their page. And I think that this is the way forward, until this is the way forward for advertisers, until we have a better alternative, like we are getting to know more about metaverse and things. But for now, if anybody wants to start a business, I think that Instagram can be a huge opportunity for them. uh, yeah, and that's it from me.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Yes, I would definitely agree to this point that Instagram has created a huge impact and a huge change in the society. Well, not only Instagram, I think it's the whole social media that has created a change in the society. We can not only for the businesses, explore everything which we can improve upon Instagram as well. Okay, so now any other guest who would like to volunteer? Guest Mohammed, would you like to say? GST guest, would you want to take part? Toastmaster Dityendu, would you like to go ahead then?
No, no, no. I already have a speaking role. If anyone else wants to speak, they can. Anjana, Renu, Deven has already spoken. Deepthi has already spoken. So we have got Anjana and Renu, and we also have time. So
Toastmaster Anjana, would you like to say then? Okay. So the topic for you is that work so hard that one day your signature will be called an autograph. Work so hard that one day your signature will be called an autograph.
Hmm. Okay. I'll tell you the reality, the truth. Few months back, maybe during this pandemic, uh, actually we all struggled a lot to request people to join meeting and attend meeting of Toastmasters. So what happened is I was not kind of person who participate in the competitions. And I was like, okay, I just push members to participate in the competition, which had happened last month, that district championship, club level Toastmaster competition. And what happened was that in our club, there are many less people who were interested to participate. Even there was no one who could participate. Nobody was interested. So actually, being a president, I forced myself to participate in the competition just to have our club's name in the competition list of the clubs. Okay, that club has also participated. I just participated by chance. And then I won the contest. I won club level contest. And then I was selected for what happens is club level, area level. Then area level, okay, I also participated in that. And again, I got second rank in that. Till then, I was not very interested and I was not preparing for, basically preparation, I was not doing hard preparation to participate in the contest till the area level contest. But when I won that contest, then I thought, why not me? Why I can't win the contest till district level? But for that, I should do the hard work for it. I have to do the practice for the same. And one day I let everybody know in GST that if you will take my name as a signature, then it can become what you call, that it could be the, Mehak, what do you call that? Autograph. It could be the autograph. Okay. So I started preparing for the same and really very hard. I really did practice a lot. I contacted many people to participate in how to participate. I saw many videos. And then the day came to participate on division level. And when I participated in them, then I was the second runner-up. And again, I got that prize. And then I got confidence. Yes, if you can do the hard work, then your signature can become the autograph for others. But for that, you need to work dedicatedly, sincerely, seriously. And luck is also by chance, as I got the luck to participate in the contest without having any interest. So my dear friends, yes, of course, as Toastmaster Mahak has given me the topic, if you do the hard work, definitely your signature can become your autograph. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anjana. Yes, it's really true that hard work really pays off. Now, Toastmaster Renu, would you like to take a topic?
Yes, I can.
The topic for you is popularity is neither fame nor greatness. Popularity is neither fame nor greatness.
All right. Can I get 30 seconds? Okay, I'm speaking. Hello, everyone. Popularity is not greatness or fame. I duly and totally agree with this point. How can you get popularity without putting in your best efforts? It is not a simple cakewalk. You aim for something, you aim for the stars, and you will be able to pocket them in. It is not possible. You have to become a popular person. You have to burn midnight oil. You just think, I'm talking this time only as a TMOB. I'm talking about how to become a good writer. And I'm telling you, this is not a simple thing only. If you want to achieve something, then there is no looking back, also no looking forward as well. You just have to create the ambition of the life. You might not be successful, but you always have to dare once last. You might be possibly you'll be able to reach the heights. You are able to climb the ladder. But at the last moment only, if something doesn't come up with the same thing, whatever you wanted to achieve, you might regret or you might leave at that time. You abandon the idea. But no, if you just dare once last, you just make one more step ahead. Who knows? You become the popular. And the popularity will become fame. Of course, popularity begets famous only. All the celebrities, as Toastmaster Deepthi was saying, all the celebrities, like you name anybody in the world, Dhoni, you name anyone, any film star, any politician, any writer, anybody in the world, they have not become the celebrities or the famous personality overnight only. There had been so much of efforts. And now this popularity has brought them the fame and the greatness. So I totally agree with Toastmaster Mehak. If you want to achieve something, you just only we see the brighter side of the personality. If I talk about the celebrity film stars only, we always see the brighter side. Oh, Shah Rukh Khan is doing this thing or that thing. Salman Khan has become the icon of the world and all that. But who knows how they started their journey? They were penniless when they arrived in Bombay or anywhere in the world. It happens with every field. When they start journey with nothing. But now they are so great, full of famous and greatness. So popularity is the synonymous of famous and the greatness. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Wonderful speech, Toastmaster. Totally correct that the name and the fame cannot be achieved when you just do not aim at it. Well, now I guess everyone has spoken with it. If guest Mohammed wants to give it a try, then can come forward with it. Otherwise, we can just have a wrap up this.
Yeah, hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, we are able to. Would you like to?
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon. Would you like to take a topic?
Yeah, it's question is easy.
Okay. So the topic for you is name glorifies with fame. Name glorifies with fame.
Mehak, would you want to explain the topic a little more since guest is attempting for the first time?
Yeah, the topic is name glorifies with fame.
So it would mean something like your name will be praised when you become famous. So your name is praised, or people know your name once you become famous. That is the topic. Can you bring the mic a little closer to your mouth, because we are not able to hear you very well? Little better, but still closer. Take it up close.
Okay, now
Yes.
it is. Yes. I'm Hassan and I want to open duty honestly and I want to be a do better and in future I want to be and I want to be a example for our society and our family. And when we do
Keep the mic closer. Now speak.
then in future we do anything good, and I want to be a, for example, of society, and I do the hard work, and then of course people know me.
Toastmaster Hassan, we can't hear you properly. There is some disturbance coming from your end. Can, can you please speak something? Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Mohammed Hassan, hold it again closer to your mouth, and that time we could hear you. Hold it close and then speak. Now speak. Nahin.
But we can't hear you.
We heard him
It's
say a couple of lines,
yeah.
Toastmaster Diptendu, and then
So-
he said,
Something is interfering in his network so much,
yeah.
as if there is some other device or some microphone lying around.
Are you able to hear us clearly, Mohammed Hassan?
Can you hear us?
Hassan, can you hear us? Is there a fan around? Is there a ceiling fan or a table fan around, or an air conditioner?
Good catch, Toastmaster Diptendu.
There are two fans.
And I don't know something.
Hello.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yes,
Much better. Much better. Please continue. Continue.
Okay.
you can tell something about yourself only.
Of course. I'm Mohd Hassan. I'm from Bihar. Now I am pursuing civil engineering from IITM Sonipat near New Delhi. I want to be a good engineer, and my English is not well, and I want to improve our English skill and like communication. I understand all things, but not clearly speak, and something is lack, and I want to improve. I want to be a good engineer, and I want to be a example of society and a example of family, and in of course when I do my duty is honestly, in future one day I will achieve my goal, and I will I'm be a great person. Then of course people know me, and my fame is of course very high. That's all about.
Then Muhammad's name will glorify with fame. That topic is true for him then.
You're saying your English is not good, but there was no mistake in your spoken English. You're really speaking very, very well.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
I think it's just a matter of consistent practice of speaking in this language, and like Anjana ma'am said,
Yes.
your name will have its fame.
Yes, definitely. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammed, for participating. Now I would end the session, the table topic session. I would hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Renu Mittal, the Toastmaster for today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak, for such a wonderful session. They are very intellectual topics. Everybody had to think twice at least for uttering a word. It was, you really gave a very good competition to everybody. And as usual, you conducted the session very sweetly, encouraging guests and Toastmaster. So thank you once again, Toastmaster Mehak, for such a, again, nice session. So friends, where were we actually? We were on the way, on the road to writing influential. I have some more ideas. How we can become more influential writer. So the next is drinking massive amounts of coffee. You know, who is spared from the addiction of coffee since beginning till date? The French novelist Henri de Balzac and Voltaire. You know, they would consume 50 cups of coffee a day to find inspiration for their literary works. Isn't it so strange? I'm really sure the systems would have been extremely stupendous to respond positively. Otherwise, how can a person consume and digest kind of 50 cups of coffee a day? And contrary to coffee, can you believe apples can also create history? The famed mystery author Agatha Christie, I'm sure everybody would be knowing this name. This is again one of my most favorite one, who has written more than 60 detective novels over her career. You know how she could do that? She had only one habit, interesting habit. She would munch on apples in the bathtub and vision murder mysteries. You know, sometimes she would eat more than 30 to 40 apples during her bath time routine. If somebody would have seen the Istanbul series Night at Perida Palace, which is a traveling time back series. So Agatha Christie was there in the series when she was not at all the writer. I really loved the novel Murder on the Orient Express. If you'll read that, I'm sure you'll not be able to guess who the murderer would be until you read the last line. So these are some of the habits we can actually think of adopting if we want to become a very good writer. But there are few more, but that we will do after the evaluation session. So for that, again, I'm calling on the stage our junior evaluator today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Renu. A wonderful session going on indeed. And let us begin the evaluation section. First up, I'd like to invite the supplementary role players. And the timer and the grammarian have been observing the entire meeting with intent and with sincerity. So, can I first request the timer to present his report?
I'm sorry, Deepu, but before that,
I'm sorry.
we are not evaluated Toastmaster Anjana.
Yeah, we'll just come to it after the timer and the grammarian's report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dipindu. Let me present my timer report quickly. So here is my timer report. So speaker 1, Anjana Tandon. So the allowed time for her was 4 to 6 minutes. The actual time is 7 minutes 30 seconds. So there was some overtime which she has to work upon while speaking. Then coming to the table topics. So table topics, the Toastmaster Deepti took 1 minute 45 seconds for her speech. So which is under time, which is within the time, I would say. So that is good. Then Toastmaster Devin, 1 minute 20 seconds. Toastmaster Rahul spoke for 1 minute 50 seconds. Anjana Tandon, 3 minute 40 seconds again. There again, there was a overtime. And then Toastmaster Renu Mittal spoke for 2 minute 45 seconds. So she was slightly above the time frame of 2 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Mohammed Hassan spoke for 7 seconds for his introduction speech, so which is within the time box. So that's all from me, Toastmaster Dipindu. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devin. Let us move on to the Grammarians report by Toastmaster Deepthi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diptendu. I will share my screen for my report. Okay, let's first come to the good usages of grammar. There were many. The first one was gusto. This is a new word that I've learned, so I put it in there first. And I used it in my Sergeant at Arms speech. Then there was surge of anxiety, drudgery drains. When we hear, we fear. When we are forced, we bear. I sweat blood to earn my bread. New age, social media, game changer, vouch, way forward, fame begets popularity, stupendous. These were some very interesting words. We may have heard them before, but they were beautifully used in the context today, and that is why I put them in good usages. Coming to the not so good usages, there were two or three which stood out. One is what options he had to choose. The word originally used was chose, which is incorrect. We would rather use the word choose here. So, what options he had to choose from? That was a sentence. Okay. The other not so good usage was when we use the word many, less people. See, less in itself means that they were less, or they were the number was not as much as required. So less is anyways quantifying. Many and less do not gel together, and that is incorrect grammar. So you can happily say there were less people who wanted to participate. We don't have to necessarily stress. A lot of times we come across people who use the word very less as well, which is again incorrect. So less in itself will mean whatever, whenever you want to say that the number of things was not up to the mark. Another thing that I noticed was that when we speak in a particular language, we resort to our native language more often than once. And the most common words that we use are the conjunctions. So in Hindi, we use ki, so, which are sentence changes or mood changes and their conjunctions. So let's focus on areas where we tend to go back to our native languages. That will make us sound seamless or flawless. Okay, a good tip is that you guys can speak slower, in a speed which is slower than your usual speed of speaking in your native language. That will give you time to think and process. The word of the day, we had only one or two speakers. I think Toastmaster Devin was one of them who used the word eminent, although he used it in the context of using famous and not eminent as such, but still I appreciate. So anybody who would like to use the word now, try building a sentence with eminent so that I'm sure that you guys have understood. You can unmute and speak. Yes, Mahek.
There were eminent speakers in the making today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that usage. So I'm sure the word eminent is clear to everybody. In a very simple words, it means famous. So totally in line with our meeting theme today. Eminent personalities, famous personalities. Okay, with that, thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Diptendu.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepthi. I will comment upon the timers and the Grammarians report, and I will hold off the R counters report. For now, let us move to the 360-degree evaluation of Toastmaster Anjana's speech. So I can see that there are 10 people in the meeting right now, 9 people apart from Toastmaster Anjana. Toastmaster Anjana, you can ask any one of us to share our opinion your speech. So you can just call anyone up and that person will share the evaluation.
Okay. Anyone, I mean, anyone can share the evaluation.
Anyone, you can call out multiple people one after one by one, and they will start speaking.
Okay. Renu Mittal, Toastmaster Renu Mittal.
Ma'am, we can't.
Toastmaster Renu,
Ma'am,
you
we
are not
can't hear
audible.
you.
No, I'm surprised and shocked. No, you'll have to come closer to the monitor, I guess,
Am I
or
better
the
now?
laptop.
Am I better now?
Yes.
Toastmaster. I'm not. Am I clearly audible or not?
Yes, now.
Yeah, now you are audible.
Am I now? Is it better now?
Toastmaster Jitendra, allow me to mute everybody other than Renu ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Am I
Please,
making sense now? All good? Okay. So Toastmaster Anjana, I really loved the starting of your speech. Travel with me for 5 to 7 minutes and I'll let you know how to get license to kill failures. It was really a wonderful opening and it was full of your good facial expressions, hand movements, eye movements. They were also moving in the sync of your words. So everything was really good. But since this was the speech on the body language, so what I would suggest, if you would have delivered this speech standing, it would have cast a better impression. Second was, there was some ahs and ums in the speech. And if you could have done some more practice, so you could have avoided these. But overall, it was a fabulous speech. And I really loved the example which you have given, else if, else if, else if, else if. It was really good. And it was practiced very well as well. So in the your ending was also very clear that we should always be ready with the alternate option so that not to repent later in life. So overall, it was a very good speech and all the best for your new speeches, further speeches.
Whom would you like to hear from next, Toastmaster Ranjana?
Deepthi?
okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Toastmaster Anjana. So a beautiful speech, beautiful theme, and the title was very intriguing. What I also loved was the voice modulation that you had along with your facial expressions, especially when you were in sheer shock. You said, I was not allowed. I was not allowed. So that was very beautifully conveyed. Kudos to you for that. And that is what your objective was as well. The programming background example fitted in the bill perfectly. And I think it goes greatly with your nature of work as well. So in all, I love the speech. What I would like to suggest to you is two things. One, I observed that in your speech, you used words like anyhow, somehow, more than a couple of times. Now, they might fit into the context of the speech, but they were giving me a feel that you had not rehearsed enough and you were using them as filler words. So maybe a little more practice and a variety of these words to show ambiguity or to show that you managed without proper preparation in reaching wherever you had to reach. So that would make the speech a little more robust. That is what I'll say. So avoid use of filler words in a prepared speech. And the second thing which I would love to suggest to you is, because essentially it was a body language speech. So yes, standing would make it more powerful, definitely, because when you stand and deliver, you automatically get the energy. It just comes or flows to you. So you might want to try that. So that is from my side. Thank you, Anjana ma'am.
Thank you, Deepti. Thank you, Deepti and Renu. Now, Dipendu, would you like to?
Sure. All right. So the title itself was very well crafted. License to Kill is a phrase associated with James Bond, and you spun it by suffixing failure to that phrase. The very first statement of the speech was a question. The question ideally should be followed by a decent amount of pause, couple of seconds, maybe 3 seconds. And for the pause to be effective, the question itself should be stronger. So maybe something like license to kill. Do you want license to kill? And that way you could have titillated the audience a little more with the question and the pause. The vocal variety, as Deepti has already mentioned, was very, very impressive. So the phrases that I was able to observe was bus was not moving at all and I was not allowed. And then there was a phrase, don't worry, in the section when you were having conversation with your father. While vocal variety is one of your strong suits, but when you use words like anxiety and depressed, these words should have enough emphasis of emotion, and which was lacking. So I think I recommend that you build upon your strength, or build upon your vocal variety, and add more emotion and emphasis to strong words like anxiety and depression. You spoke completely from a personal perspective, from the distress of not finding a vehicle for commute to getting late for the exam to a heart-to-heart conversation with your father. And you also invoked the if-else programming paradigm, which effectively conveyed the message. So all these things made your speech very, very impressive and engrossing and engaging. All I would like to say is that if you polish your speech from a sentence construction point of view, from grammatical accuracy point of view, you would definitely touch many lives because it had a very powerful message. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we are getting very good feedbacks. I will definitely this and will deliver the speech in the same club as well.
Wonderful.
Okay. I would like to hear from Deven Sharma.
David, would you like to provide feedback to Toastmaster Anjana?
Sure, Toastmaster Anjana, thank you for providing me this opportunity to evaluate your speech. So though I'm not a very expert person to evaluate anybody's speech because I am also new in this, you can say, the Toastmaster meetings. So I would say that when you started off with your speech, so those were, I mean, that was a very relatable position where I believe most of us would have gone through with that scenario that we are getting late to reach either our office or somewhere in our exam. And especially I wonder that was not your board exam for sure, because I know that I got late in my board exam, so I can feel that particular anxiety. And but I was allowed to enter the board exam because it was in the 15 minutes time frame. So that's fine. So well, I mean, you had used the very strong words and it kept me hooked while you were speaking because I wanted to know the outcome of your exam first, and then I would like to know the outcome, that how you overcome that fear of failure, right? Because which is very important. So it took me hooked for 5, 7 minutes, 30 seconds. That is for sure, because in my meetings I never, keep follow anyone while they are speaking for so long. Okay, so having said that, so it was a great speech and very impressive speech, and I would like to join this meeting and hear, the guys like you, to learn more from you guys while speaking. So that's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Deven. Now, Mehak, I would love to listen from Mehak as well.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anjana, for the opportunity. Well, it was a really well-crafted and a wonderful speech. First of all, I would like to say that the content of the speech was definitely on point, and with the way you connected it with the personal story, made it it put more emphasis on that thing, and it was really relatable to each one of us. like being late to somewhere or something like that. It was delectable. So the content was definitely on point. Second thing is the hand gestures. It was also on point. The voice modulation, which was totally great, because we could see that when you were in a fix, in a problem, you could feel, we could also feel with you like how when you were such in a problem, like how you would have felt. So the voice modulation was really great. And the things like I want to say that you could improve upon is, first thing is that you could have given the speech by standing up. That would have provided you with energy, of course, and would have also shown us the hand gestures, because it was not visible as you were sitting. So we would be able to see how you were using them, and it would have also given you more confidence to speak. Well, so I think this was the only recommendation from my side. Otherwise, all in all, it was a wonderful speech and wish to hear more from your side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehak. And if guest Rahul or Lavina wants to say something.
From my end, I would just like to say the speech was too good. Just that a couple of times I felt the mother tongue influence coming in picture sometimes. Apart from that, I think it was fantastic. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Lavina. Rahul, would you like to say something? Okay, Mohammad Hassan, if you want to say something.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I was enjoying this speech. I have learned something. Are you hearing me clearly? Okay. One thing, never depress. If you have any situation life, but never depress, never give up. And when we do hard work and go to exam well preparation, and exam was miss, then very difficult time and very creative. And one thing is, I am not on, always think plan B. You have, oh, sorry, we have always any situation have doing plan B. If plan A can, if plan A is not well do, then plan B will follow. And never give up. You saying a programming, if else programming. So if else, continue, 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 never give up. Continue, never give up. I will. I was enjoy and very big fan. And speak simple language.
All right then. So, Toastmaster Anjana, I hope you enjoyed receiving feedback from so many people today.
Yeah, actually, it gives us confidence that everyone listened it properly. One thing.
Yeah.
Because when we give speech, then we also sometimes don't listen speeches for a long period of time. Because sometimes they are not interested, sometimes topic is not interested. It happens with all of us. But with this 360-degree evaluation, which you have opted for, which you have given us the chance to have this, and it gives me actually very good feeling. And when we get feedback from different people on different things which we have missed while speaking, then we can work upon it. If we don't get the feedback, then we cannot improve. And very well done, and thank you so much, Dipenditu, for giving this opportunity to have feedback from each and everyone present in the meeting. Thank you so much.
All right then. All right. It was a beneficial session. It was an interesting way to evaluate a prepared speaker, something which we haven't done at Toastmasters Club of Storytellers, but it's an established practice in the Toastmasters community, and some clubs do have this kind of evaluation. So I will now move to the general evaluators report, starting with Toastmaster Deepthi, who played the role of Sergeant at Arms. Toastmaster Deepthi spoke with a lot of warmth up front and infused energy in the audience right at the top of the meeting. So I give 2 thumbs up to her for that. Toastmaster Deepthi also recited the Toastmaster mission statement and stated the housekeeping rules. Therefore, she completed all the tasks required of a sergeant at arms, but she went above and beyond. When she coordinated, even before the beginning of the meeting, she coordinated amongst the sitting audience and asked them to prefix their name with the club name, and something that is a hallmark of a dutiful Toastmaster. So very well done, Toastmaster Deepthi. And of course, you are a wonderful speaker as well, and you put a very cool spin on the now defunct Thursdays and converted into Soulful Saturdays. So yes, we have to take every opportunity to work on our public speaking chops as well. So well done. Moving on to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Mehak. Toastmaster Mehak made a business announcement about a district level event at the beginning of her address. So making business related announcements is a part of the presiding officer's role, and she did that. So I admire her for that. Toastmaster Mehak also engaged the audience with a pertinent question and then beautifully connected her starting monologue with the theme of the meeting. Yes, so she set the context, she set the atmosphere, the ambience for the entire meeting wonderfully well. Toastmaster Mehak also conducted a guest introduction, and her host-like quality was accentuated today because I could hear more warmth in her voice, and she was welcoming with the statements that she was speaking with the guests. And so Toastmaster Mehak also checked all the boxes of the presiding officer's address in today's meeting. I will now move on to Toastmaster Renu. Toastmaster Renu kicked off the meeting with a lot of energy and brought a topic to the table which was beneficial for everyone in the meeting. The conviction with which Toastmaster Renu spoke was more gripping than the theme itself, and I felt respected as an audience member listening to a very well prepared Toastmaster of the day. And how to become a writer using some simple techniques by stating this by seeing this statement, Toastmaster Renu laid down the direction of the theme and made it very crystal clear. So I was constantly waiting to hear a little more from Toastmaster Renu, and she did not disappoint every time she took the virtual stage to speak, and she provided some points which can be worked upon by those who want to become writers. So very well done, Toastmaster Renu. Toastmaster Renu also introduced meeting roles very well, and after the general evaluator's introduction, Toastmaster Renu swiftly introduced some short stories by some famous writers, and then smoothly transitioned to the prepared speech section. Apart from talking upon the theme in a coherent and cohesive manner, the primary responsibility of TMOD is to conduct the meeting in a smooth manner, and Toastmaster Renu did that very successfully and with a lot of awareness about the meeting. Moving on, we have already talked about Toastmaster Anjana's speech, and yes, I have also already mentioned that at every interjection when Toastmaster Renu got an opportunity to speak about the theme, she talked about some points which were tangible, which were helpful, and which kept the meeting moving along at a brisk pace. I would again give 2 thumbs up to Toastmaster Renu for it. Now let's move to Toastmaster Mehak as the table topics master. Toastmaster Mehak aptly introduced the table topics section, and she even stated benefits of table topics which appealed to various demographics by using words like interviews, GDs, and elevator pitch. Elevator pitch would appeal to entrepreneurs. Interviews would appeal to anyone, irrespective of where they are in their career. And GDs would probably appeal to the more younger audience amidst us who might be facing GDs during the early phases of their career. So very well done. And Toastmaster Mehak also spoke a little bit after every table topics, which added to the entire ambience that she was trying to create with the sequence of topics she had prepared for today. I have also gone ahead and written a note about each of the table topic speakers. So I will just state them out. I hope it benefits everyone who spoke. Toastmaster Deepthi was given a difficult topic. It was a difficult topic to construct a speech on, but Deepthi tapped into her primary nervous system and made wonderful use of both the left brain, that is logic, and the right brain, which is creative imagination, to come up with a near perfect story. Toastmaster Deven logically constructed the speech but I would suggest Toastmaster David to power on and utilize as much time as possible. And even if you think that you don't have any more lines of thought to explore, just try to speak a little more, because that is how it is, like doing 15 push-ups instead of 10. So instead of speaking for 1 minute 20 seconds, you can just make an effort to speak for 1 minute 40 seconds or 1 minute 50 seconds. That is how you improve. On to Toastmaster Rahul. He spoke precisely to the topic and shared practical perspective sourced from personal experience. Toastmaster Rahul talked about Instagram, and he himself is in the business of doing business on Instagram. So he spoke from personal experience, and that was very appealing to me. Toastmaster Ranjana spoke from the heart on the topic that was given to her during the table topic session, and made a valiant attempt to align her story with the given topic. So I could see that the story was not aligning with the topic, but she somehow was making an effort to align her story with the topic, and that is what most of us end up doing most of the times in table topics, and this is what we get to learn during table topics. We have a story, and we force fit it, retrofit it with the topic that has been given to us, and to attain success doing this means that we have attained success as a table topic speaker. I admire the effort that Toastmaster Anjana made with the table topics. And Toastmaster Renu spoke passionately and with a lot of conviction about the topic that she was given, and her talk was completely aligned with the topic. So Toastmaster Renu was able to hit bullseye with respect to the table topics. Toastmaster Hassan, excellent effort. And grammar and fluency is important, of course, but what is even more important is the message that you want to convey and the emotions with which you speak, the emotions you feel while speaking, and whether you are able to convey those same emotions to the audience. So grammar and fluency for me are secondary, in fact tertiary things. They are important, but if you have got a solid message, and if you are able to convey it to the audience in even in bad grammar, and if it reaches the audience, then you will have a repeat audience for sure. So that is my opinion about the table topic speakers. All in all, it was a wonderful meeting. We started 5 to 7 minutes late, but we are almost on time. It's 5:26 p.m. right now, and we have had some interesting experiments in today's meeting, like the 360-degree evaluation. And I thank everyone for sparing their time. Oh, I did not share the accountants report. Aren't you waiting for accountants report? Why didn't anyone ask me for accountants report? Aren't you guys interested in listening to me anymore? Anyways, so the accountants report is as follows. Starting with Toastmaster Anjana. The prepared speech was perfect, but when it came to the table topics, I could hear some tendencies. Tendency is the tendency to use the phrase "what happened." So what happened is, what happened was. Now this is an influence of the language in which one thinks. Kya hua ki? So this is what we think in our head in Hindi. So that is why probably we end up using "what happened" phrase time and again. On to Toastmaster Renu. Toastmaster Renu tends to use the crutch word "ke," which is actually a Hindi word. So maybe Toastmaster Renu can be more aware of it and try to weed out the word "ke" from her speech. Also, I noticed that Toastmaster Renu tends to use the word "only," started only, overnight only, superstar. So this definitely is one tendency that I hope she is now aware of, and of course she is more than capable of weeding it out of her speaking style. Crutch. There was a crutch phrase that I heard Toastmaster Renu use. Two-liner poetry. Two-liner poetry is nothing but a couplet. So instead of saying two-liner poetry, Toastmaster Renu, you could have used the word couplet. On to Toastmaster Mehek. Impromptu speaking or extempore speaking. So while describing the table topic section, we use the word impromptu or impromptu speaking many a times, and Toastmaster Mehek used the word impromptly, which is actually incorrect. So impromptu speaking or spoke impromptu are the methods to use this word. Toastmaster Deepthi, perfect speech. You have awe-inspiring sentence construction, fluency, and command over English language. Listening to you is always a treat and a learning experience for me. On to Toastmaster Deven. I heard that you used the crutch phrase, and right more than once. So I just want to point it out so that you can be more aware of it moving forward. Toastmaster Rahul, there were awkward pauses in the beginning of his table topic speech, but then he settled into a very smooth flow and it was all good. And that is it. That is the be all and all of my report as the general evaluator and the counter. I hope we all continue to attend more meetings together and continue to grow. Back to Toastmaster.
Toastmaster Deependu, as the general evaluator, all the what should I tell you? You are as mesmerizing as one can be. Seriously, you have left no point we can point on. So, in nutshell, what I would say, I'm just falling short of the words how to compliment you. In a bird's eye view, I would just say you were marvelous. And now, my dear friends, now coming to the same thing which I was talking about. So, are two more rules how we can become the better writer. You know what was the unusual habit of the Vinci Code writer Dan Brown? He would always keep an hourglass on his desk. You know what? For what? Every hour, he would set aside his manuscript to do some push-ups, sit-ups, and stretches. You know, I know this might sound strange, but if you think seriously, it is not a bad idea at all. God forbidding, if you don't become a writer, at least you won't repent. You'll build a good body at last. And now, last but not the least, on the list today is using color coding system by the muses. French author Alexandre Dumas wrote his historical novels, The Three Musketeers and the Count of Monte Cristo, using blue for his fiction novels, pink for non-fiction, and yellow for poetry. Who doesn't know the famous author Charles Dickens? I'm sure you all would be knowing. A Christmas Carol, author of Christmas Carol and Great Expectations. Both I would highly recommend you to read to get glimpse of the 19th century Victorian era. He also used blue ink, but that was not for superstitious reasons, but because it dried faster than other colors. Isn't it interesting? Did you know this fact about the blue ink? I'm sure you never knew this thing. I think this only would have introduced the idea of using colored pens by the teachers. Like we use red pen for corrections, green for compliments, and black for writing questions for making the margin and outlines. And now, masters, what should I say now? In nutshell, if you want to reach sky heights in writing, I would highly recommend choose at least one of the above rituals I have. And still, if you find they're not enough, I don't work for you. Who knows? Luck might click, and you only will become the next Smith. Now, this was all from my side. I would ask all of you first to vote for the table speaker. Mehak, to tell the name of all table topics.